Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a team for the Great League Remix Cup. This cup is going to be available later on today for 1 week total, and we're going to have 20 Pokemon banned basically for this cup. If you want to see the top meta and the top teams, I already made a video about it. If I sound a little bit weird, I'm a little bit sick and might be even worse for the next few days, so hopefully it's not going to be the case, but yeah, just if I can't upload, I can't upload, but we have to see. So let's take a look at the team. We're going to have here the Jellicent in the lead. Jellicent is going to be one of the most underrated core breakers for this kind of meta, because they're going to be very strong against most of the common leads, something like the Skarmory, it's something like the Fighting type Pokemon like the Poliwrath or even the Carbink. You're going to be fine with your little Jellicent there. So Jellicent in the lead is seemingly very strong, and also just going to be very strong in the meta in general. It's not even that highly ranked. I think it's like rank 30 on PvPoke, which kind of showcases as well that it's not something that a lot of people are going to see, but still definitely something that you should try out. As you're going to see here, the first opponent I think is now disconnecting at this point. Honestly, I wonder how this matchup would have went if they didn't disconnect, because it definitely would have used a shield. It would have been very close though. Shadow Charizard can be very strong against this team as well if you lose your lead at least. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have a Skarmory in the lead, and so we're going to encounter a very favorable lead for our Jellicent. We will be able to still go for the Shadow Ball, as the opponent is going to have to take this move. I think there's an opponent coming up later on that was able to catch a Shadow Ball there, so maybe don't overthrow immediately if people would usually want to swap out here. We're going to see the Brave Bird coming through, and like this, we can now align our Abomasnow against the opponent's Whiscash here, which is going to be very good for us, as we can go for the Energy Ball eventually. But I actually know I was not late here. I was actually able to just go for the Energy Ball and knock out the Mudboys. And that's the cool thing about Abomasnow. The amount of teams that you're going to encounter that have a Mudboy in the back is going to be wild. So like this Pokemon is going to be definitely one of the strongest Pokemon that you can use. But as you can see here, we're going to be able to go for another Weather Ball even against the opponent's Skarmory, forcing maybe even a shield here. And yes, we do force a shield, and so we have a shield advantage. We have our, okay, we lose our shield advantage here, but we still have energy on one of our Pokemon, and we know that even the Vigoroth is going to have a great time here. The opponent catches a move here onto the Dugong. Great play there, but sadly we completely hardwall their team, and so we can go into our Vigoroth and go for the full counter down. We will be able to just let this move go through because we don't have a shield anyway, but one Rock Slide is all that really takes to get them into range where I can knock them out, most likely with a few more counters. So this is looking like a really good one game there, so you can just go for a Body Slam again afterwards, and this will be all it takes to knock out the opponent's Skarmory. So good game there. Next opponent coming up. Let's see what they're going to run. By the way, I'm not completely sure if the opponents always played the Pokemon that are allowed. It's a little bit tricky to take a look at like the top 20 Pokemon. It's not as clear as just like, okay, you use like Water, Grass, Fire type Pokemon or whatever. I know that there was like one battle which I quit early where they played Medicham, which is definitely banned as far as I know, so like I just didn't really want to play this game then. But here we're going to see as well Poliwrath in the lead. Going to be a great matchup for you. You can just go for the Shadow Ball and easily knock them out. But sadly, this backline is not going to be good for us, as we will see here the opponent are going into the Skeledirge. And yeah, this is something that's going to be a little bit tricky for this matchup or for this cup in general. As we will see the Disarming Voice coming through, we're going to see the opponent going for a few more fast moves there. I can go still for a Surf. I hope that they use a shield here because they could have went for the Shadow Ball, but they don't. And with this, we're going to have to let this move go through. We are going to still have the equal amounts of shields, but sadly, the opponent is running a Shadow Channeler on the back. I really wish that I would have had a Shadow Channeler for the Great League. I only have one for the Ultra League, I think, build. Because I feel like this Pokemon will be a lot of fun to play in the current cup, as there are a lot of Pokemon that are fairly weak against this Pokemon here. And so this is not really looking too good for us. We're going to be able to still go for a Body Slam here against the opponent, but as you can see, we will see now the damage of one Flame Charge against our Abomasnow. There's nothing that I can do about it. The backline just hardwalled my backline. Good game though. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have a Clefable in the lead. This is, by the way, a player that I have to give a shout out to as well. I remember still playing against this player, great catch here by the way on the Lickitung, like early on, like super early on in Go Battle League. I remember this name from back in the day as well, like literally like season 1, 2, like I battled them I think quite often, like higher up Edo ranges where I literally try hard my best to get up to like highest Edo, which I don't do anymore because of content reasons, plus swapping your team doesn't really help with that, plus queue times are crazy wild up there. It's not really worth it for me anymore to go up to the leaderboards. I sometimes do it still just for fun, or like if I have a great team where I'm just like, yeah, okay, maybe I play a little bit more with it. As you saw with the Palkia video where I got up to like rank 200 something. but it's just not really worth it for me anymore to go up to the leaderboards if I do like 2 videos daily. It's a little bit tricky, but yeah, you're going to see here that you can still go for some body slams against the opponent's Clefable, which is kind of nice, and I can let this next move go through. So we are still in a fairly decent spot. Clefable can be a little bit of a trickier one, but they're going to have a Magnet Zone in the back, and you might think, no, yeah, this is going to be it. This is a hard counter matchup, and is it? It is still possible to win here. And you're going to see it here as well. I'm going to use a shield because it's going to force the opponent to go still for another wild charge afterwards, but I can still even get a shield from the opponent with my Surf here. And it is still not over, because at this point, are we going to be able to let this next move go through? It's going to be another wild charge from the opponent. They can still go for another charge move on their own, but luckily, this is going to be just a mirror shot which does not knock us out, and so we can go for the Weather Ball, and this is going to get the knockout against the opponent, allowing us to now farm down the Clefable and actually still win this game with Abomasnow. Most likely I'm going to get like 20 comments about it. Why are you not running Icy Wind on Abomasnow? I feel like Icy Wind on Abomasnow does make sense as a lead. It does not really make too much sense in the back because, yeah, basically what you want to have, if you are in the lead and you have like a favorable lead, the opponent is forced to swap out, you can still go for an Icy Wind, and you basically weaken the opponent's secondary matchup, allowing you to realign, which is like the main benefit of Icy Wind. But for Weather Ball, as a closer, it just makes more sense because it does a little bit more damage usually than Icy Wind. Like damage per energy, not like total damage, and he can just get to the move way faster, which just is way better as a closer compared to like an lead. I would most likely still go for Icy Wind, but here as we have the Abomasnow as our closer for this matchup here, I feel like it's just way smarter to go ahead and go for the Icy, what's called? The Weather Ball. Weather Ball is just way better here. We are going to see the Leaf Blade coming through here, going to do a ton of damage, maybe even putting us into farm down range for the opponent, which would not be ideal for us, but let's see how we can deal with it. We can still try to go for one Surf afterwards, and I decided to use a shield here because I need to get rid of the final shield of the opponent, and I hope that I can still even reach to another Surf after this one, but I'm not too sure about it because counter is adding up. Even though we are a ghost type, it's still going to do a ton of damage, and so we're going to see now the Abomasnow coming in. We will get hit by the Night Slash. Luckily they don't have Brave Bird, as Brave Bird will one-shot us, but now we can still reach the Weather Ball, which we wouldn't have been able with the Icy Wind, so that's going to be a good game. Next opponent, Calamon Toast, showed to you as well, a fellow YouTuber, and I know the team immediately basically when I encountered the first Pokemon here, so sorry for not running a spicy team, but I kind of want to showcase some kind of meta stuff that people can play, or like, I mean, like Abomasnow is something that you're not going to face too often, but will be very strong, but just in general a team that people can use later on when they want to start into this cup, which is going to be available a little bit later on as well. But yeah, they're going to run a triple full XL Teddy team, basically. We're going to have here the Pancham, we had the, what's called, the Teddiursa, and we're also going to have the Capture in the back. I knew about the moveset of the Teddiursa, I knew that it has cross chop, I still let it go through, just so they can hit also some moves with their little boys there. I kind of wanted to give them at least a little bit of play. Same goes for this one, I could have just farmed them down, of course, but I didn't really want to, as I kind of want to see what kind of moveset they have. And the same goes for Capture as well. Of course, here I just go straight for the Shadow Ball, does not knock them out, but does get them. Okay, we're actually going to see the shield, never mind. But I wanted to see what kind of move they actually have here. And it's actually going to be Play Rough. I didn't know this, so I kind of just scout out the battles. It's a friendly battle anyway. Like, I don't have to go ahead and shield up every single move or whatever. Same goes for this one. It's going to be the Icy Wind. I was not like counting or whatever. I just want to see what the secondary move of this Pokemon is. Just to have a little bit of fun. Just let them also hit some moves here. But yeah, of course, it's a little bit of an unfair game here as he has extreme spice, but good game there. Next opponent, we're going to have a great lead for us. We're going to have the Poliwrath in the lead. And so we're going to see the swap out into the Galvantula. And I misplayed this game, or like this matchup, quite a bit, as you're going to see now. I decided to use a shield, that's totally okay for us. And here, Weather Ball is, by the way, way better than, for example, the Icy Wind for this matchup against the Galvantula. But as you can see, we can use a shield, or get the shield here from the opponent. But I did go for the CMP tie, which was not ideal for me. But it does turn out that it was not a bad play, because I feel like maybe because of our IV spread or whatever, we are literally just able to go for the full farm down against the Galvantula, get out of here with a ton of energy. I can go for the energy ball with all my energy that I have, and so we're going to be able to get the shield from the Shadow Poliwrath, and I can realign, which is going to be amazing for me and very important, as you're going to see the opponent stopping into the Charger Bug. This is still a little bit of a trickier one, but I'm forced to go for the Rock Slide immediately in order to get them a little bit lower here at least, and maybe even another Exercise would have knocked me out, but we will find out shortly, as they're going to be able to still go for a charge move here. It's not going to be over yet though, because the opponent can still go for the Exercise, gonna not get the knockout. I think they're under charges, which was very smart by them. And I'm forced to go for a surf immediately. I don't really want to get hit by the Volt Switch damage from the opponent either. I could have went for one fast move then, but I didn't want to get hit by this. So, as you can see, the opponent gonna go into the Scald variant of Poliwrath, and I'm very lucky here because I was actually able to not get a debuff here from the Scald, and if they got the debuff, they would have most likely won the game. But because of this, I am still able to survive a Scald with a 1 HP, and we were able to win this game very, very closely. Yeah, let's take a look at the final game for today. Final game going to be against a very bulky Pokemon in the lead, but a great lead for us and a great save as well. Well, Wobbuffet in the lead is going to be an interesting Pokemon because it kind of solves like the same purpose as Deoxys as well as Medicham, so maybe something that I want to take a look at as well. But you're going to see the save of the Lickitung, and we can hardwall this one with the Vigoroth. I luckily don't get the CMP there, but I would have liked to get the Body Slam off a little bit earlier. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We're just gonna go for the full farm down, have a ton of energy, and we're gonna be able to just waste that energy against the Wobbuffet. This is the crazy thing about a Wobbuffet. Basically, if the opponent gets or like me in this case, gets a ton of energy on a Pokemon, and they don't have a super effective move against you, it's just going to go to waste. Like literally, Body Slam. It should be a very strong move or whatever, but look at this. We hit like 3 Body Slams here, and the opponent is most likely not even below half health. Oh no, they just barely get below half health after 3 Body Slams, which is just mad. We're gonna see in the back the Greedent, and I decided to let this next move go through. It's going to be the Body Slam, of course. They're going to run very likely as well the what's called the Grass type of Trailblaze. Trailblaze would boost their attack, and I was not too sure about this matchup here. So what I did is maybe not the smartest idea that I ever had, but let's take a look at this. I thought there still would be able to survive a Body Slam here and still get to another move there afterwards, but sadly our IV spread, I guess, does not really work out for this. If I had just a little bit of more optimal IV spread, I would have been fine, but I don't have any HP on my Pokemon, which is kind of wild. I still have a different Snow that I could build in Shadow, but it's sadly not as great. I was able to call the bait first, and now they went for the Trailblaze, which I was also able to shield up. The opponent goes for a swap into the Wobbuffet. You might think, oh, this is such a great play by them, but at the end of the day, it does not matter because Wobbuffet cannot damage our Jellicent. And so, yeah, Mirror Coat is just a really bad move. Basically, as soon as you're going up against the Ghost type, Wobbuffet loses all its purpose because, yeah, Mirror Coat is just so garbage. To be fair, like you kind of want to go for Return. That's why you need Return Wobbuffet as well. Return is just way better than Mirror Coat. And we're going to be able to go for one surf. We're going to be able to use a shield here. I was a little bit scared that this was not a CMP type, to be fair. But as you're going to see here, I can still go for the surf. And so this is going to be it for this video. A little bit shorter. We're going to take a look more at this cup a little bit later on as well. So definitely stay tuned for this. Also going to try to make a video about the Sidrai Community Day that's coming up. So stay tuned for this as well. And I'll see you then. Bye bye.